Hello guys, how are you? I've missed you so much. It has been a while since we posted a video. Now to go back with another interesting video, and today we are going to be talking about fights in marriages, or issues or problems or challenges in marriage. And we are going to be looking at some of the issues or some of the things that affect our marriages and that bring about fights in marriage. So I'm going to jump right in and start right away. And the first thing that I think brings a lot of fights in marriage is family. Now when you get married, your family and your spouse's family come together, and when they come together, you are bringing in different beliefs together, different personalities, and most importantly, families bring challenges or fights in marriage when they start to intrude. By intruding, I say that they start telling you what you are supposed to do. You are an adult and you know what you are supposed to do. So when they start telling you what you are supposed to do, or criticizing you, or bad-mouthing you and gossiping about you, then you find that you start having problems. You start getting uncomfortable. You find it challenging to have peace. So in regard to family, especially your in-laws, it's good that you create a good relationship with them. Try as much as possible to be respectful and to always talk to them directly. If somebody is hurting you, talk to them directly. Tell them that you think that their behavior, what they are doing, this and that, is affecting your marriage. It's not giving you peace at all. So it's always good to communicate. Tell your spouse to help in if you think that you can't handle the issues alone. And yeah, so we can't keep our families aside just because we are afraid that we are going to fight about them. No, all we need to do is communicate with our spouses, communicate with the sisters, the brothers-in-laws, and tell them, I think if we work this way, we are not going to agree. I think it's good that we respect each other, we set boundaries, and things will flow. So the next thing that I think brings a lot of fights in marriage are friends. Now your friends influence a lot of aspects on you. There are those friends that I know when they call my husband, he might come home late. There are those friends that my husband knows when I'm with them, I might take long to come home. So friends will steal your family's time. Friends who have habits that are addictive, like drinking, smoking, and clubbing, might also affect the way you relate with your husband or wife, because they will influence you eventually to do the things that they like. So it's good that we set boundaries. We don't badmouth our partners with our friends, that our friends realize that our families come first, and that your children, your husband, your wife are the #1 priority, and that they can't steal their time. It's good to have friends. It's good to set aside time for friends, but friends who bring about bad influence, friends who will influence you in ways that will harm your marriage, you need to let them go. Now, done with the friends, the other thing that I think brings a lot of challenges in marriages, especially for young couples, is house chores. You know, when you come together, you have been cleaning, she has been cleaning. So when you come together and you set the rules, like, or you assume that your spouse is supposed to do everything in the house, clean, wash, fold, cook, everything, then you're going to be hurting that person, and with time they are going to be resentful. When they become resentful, they are going to, your relationship is going to be strained to some extent. So you might want to blame your partner for not helping out, but you haven't asked for the help. It's good to ask for help. It's good to talk things through, to tell your partner, I think that you not helping with the house chores is giving me a lot of pressure. It's making me too tired. I think you should chip in, do this and that, and set a working plan for how you're going to be cleaning your house, doing the laundry, cooking, and everything. Because at some point you have kids, and when kids come in, you have more and more work put on top of what you had initially. It's good you start solving the issues with your house chores as early as you can. So thank you. My partner is coming in right now to take you through some of the things that he thinks are challenging for partners and that bring a lot of fights in marriage and relationship.
On the topic, I tend to believe that marriage is somehow complicated, because there's a part when you marry, when you're set to marry, you expecting, I might say, a clone of yourself. You expect a person who probably is having the same set values as those of yours, which is very rare. You cannot get that. I want to say that you learn to live with the differences that are in your marriage, or rather that are in your relationship, because differences are there, and that is something that we cannot run away from. We have differences, we have priorities that are so different, but we have to learn to live with them. Actually, if you conflict, if you fight in marriage, it's an avenue for you to air out the issues that are making your marriage not be in harmony. So one of the things that I believe brings issues in marriage is the inability to manage marriage finances. When you marry, when you come together with your partner, you tend to pull resources together. When you pull resources together, it means that every cent that we have to plan on how we're gonna spend it. If probably I'm a spender, then I'll have to look on that, because in a relationship we have to balance things, that we have to treat each other fairly and try as much as we can to be fair. Because as for me, in our setting, I just can't go out there and buy a pair of trousers for myself because I just saw some nice pair of jeans, and not buy her of us, or rather for our kid. If I have to buy mine, I have to buy for her and for our kid. So you realize that if you don't manage your finances in the marriage, you will check a marriage that probably is very strong and is staunch. So you have to learn how to manage your resources. Another source of conflict in marriage is this one is a sensitive one, but let me just mention it: sexual compatibility. You find that maybe I'm more inclined to sex, probably, and my partner is less inclined to eat. And this brings up issues, because what I understand is that these issues are there and people fear speaking about them. But what I have always done in our relationship is that we've always talked. We talk about the topic, we talk about the sex, we talk about our moods, we talk about our desires, and then we get to harmonize things. You find that I might be having stress because of work, I might be having stress because maybe some family member messed me up, or rather I'm having issues of my own that are external, not born within the family setting. And you find this is gonna affect my response towards my partner, and this is something that can destroy you. It can put a wedge in your marriage if you're not so careful. So you need to speak out, air out issues that are there. Don't just overlook things. Look ways in which you can satisfy each other and live like friends. Yes, I can say. So that was my point number 2. And the last point that I want to air out is that the other point that I want to put across is the inability to manage your time and the time of the no, let me say it this way: the inability to manage time for marriage and time for and time for yourself, let me say. When you get together, or rather when you marry, you come together with your partner, remember you will have the same 24 hours that you had when you were single. What does that mean? It means that you've probably less time of doing the things that you used to do when you were single. Take for instance, maybe you want to meet your friends, you want to probably go for a ride with a friend and maybe have some lunch, rather you want to go and have personal stuffs. I mean, this is time, and don't think that your partner will be happy about them because you're not engaging them. You have to create time also for them to feel that they are part of you. What works for many marriages is that people learn to segment their time and do things that are fun to them, to both of them actually. I know everybody needs some time maybe to contemplate things on their own. Take that time and allow your partner to also do that, but make sure that you're not like all day glued to your phone and maybe ignoring all the day. You have to find ways that you merge together, that you get together and do things that please each and every one of you, that please each of you.